All right. What's up, everybody? Ah, Welcome to the Sunday night live stream. I hope everybody had a great weekend and is ready to have an amazing trading week. Let's make sure, first and foremost, that we are live on the YouTube side and on X. Let's go check X first. YouTube side. Looks like we're live on X. Let's go check YouTube. Bow, bow. Everybody's talking about silver right now on X. It's gonna be an interesting week. Um, are we live on YouTube? Yep. All right, we're live on YouTube. Fantastic. All right, let me go ahead and send the links out real quick in Discord, letting people know that we are live. We have begun. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. That's what my baby says. What the hell? Where is that? There we go. Paste. And X. Copy and paste. Whee! Fantastic. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody who's taking time out of their Sunday evening to come hang out with me for a little bit. So, we have some things to discuss before I jump into some charts. So, we do not have a full week of trading. For those that don't know, maybe this is going to be news to you. The market is closed on Thursday. So there will be no trading on Thursday. Market is completely closed all day long. So we are losing a trading day this week. As for data for this week, quickly we'll cover that. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. we have pending home sales. Tuesday we have uh, FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. pre-market, we will have initial jobless claims. Thursday, January 1st, again, market will be closed for the New Year's Day holiday. Friday will be no data. So FOMC minutes on Tuesday, jobless claims Wednesday, market closed on Thursday, for those that are not aware. So just finding out now that you're losing a trading day. Hopefully, majority of you already knew that, but always got to cover that. So, what's up? What's up, guys? Appreciate you. For the ones that are over on the X side, if you could please like and repost the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. The more people that like and repost it, the easier it is to find for all of our other friends and traders out there. This stream is live right now on X and on YouTube, but it will be saved to the X account along with the YouTube channel as well. So for the ones that have other obligations to attend to this evening, cannot attend this charting and education session live for the preparation for the week. If they want to watch this later on, they can. It will be recorded again and will be on my YouTube channel and my X profile. So for the more people that like and repost it, be easier for them to find later on. So appreciate you guys. If you're on the X side, make sure you do go over to the YouTube side as well and go give the channel a like and subscribe. It is free to do so, and I would greatly appreciate it. So we are going to jump straight into this. SPY recently just made a new all-time high right there. So New all-time highs on SPY. We are not all-time highs on the QQQs. So looking how SPY closed, um, you have, I mean, some people are going to call it a doji candle. Some people are going to call it an abandoned baby, whatever you want to call the freaking candlestick up here. It closed flat. I mean, we made new all-time highs, but then they pinned it in previous session right at 690. So, I mean, no surprise there. Um, so main watch for me, obviously, I mean, previous all-time high is going to be 691.66. Essentially, it's about right there. You can see SPY get a move back down to 686. Your daily 9 is at 685. Your daily 21 is at 682. Go to your weekly. We are looking very, very strong still. We are still very much in a bull market, looking fantastic. Your weekly 9, as we are still very extended from it. We've barely hit the weekly 21 back in November. Ever since the April dip and rip back above, we've just been riding the weekly 9, which was tested last Monday and quickly bought back up. And then obviously we saw new all-time highs. So your weekly 9 right now is just around 678. So honestly, for SPY, this is going to be your 4-hour chart right here. Very clear to see that you have this area here. Just drag that across. We broke above it right here in Tuesday's session. Nice rip above. And then started to work our way up and briefly made that new high. So for me, I mean, you're gonna have your midpoint area of this around this 689, 690 area where it can just slow down and kind of get choppy at, honestly. So the main three things for me on SPY going into next session is going to be just these kind of three areas right here. There's nothing more for me to really watch. And if you want to kind of nitpick, zones, kind of pinpoint that the best I can. I think I missed it by a few pennies right there. These are going to be your three zones going in on SPY. So going into next session, this will be my resistance, if I can spell resistance right. My supply zone above. This will be your mid. Whoopsies! What the hell did I do? This will be your midpoint area, and then this will be your larger area of support. Be my demand zone. So those, as of right now, will be the main three areas that I'm watching going into next session on SPY. So 691 to previous all-time highs, midpoint area, 689 to 688.50, big support area of demand, retesting around 686 to 685.40. So you have about a 40-50 cent range down here, right here in the middle, and right up here at the top. Those are the main three areas that I'm watching going into next session. SPY did close into an hourly squeeze that did flip bearish. We had bearish divergence the entire session on Friday. We never got the breakdown. I was short into the close, very small, looking for a flush down to this midpoint area. QQQ, I believe, made the move into the close. A little bit weaker. SPY did not, but it is in an hourly squeeze. Down here, you'll see that is moving to the downside. It did flip bearish again. RSI was already saying bearish. MACD had already crossed bearish prior to it before the day started and had been moving lower all day. SPY just went back and forth and always found its way back to 690 area where they were going to end up pinning that entire session right there. So Would like to see a move down underneath this midpoint area on SPY, underneath that 688.50, and get that move closer down to this bottom support zone right here. So that'll be the area that I'm watching on SPY just going into the next session. QQQ, QQQ was in an hourly squeeze. It had flipped bearish here, um, and it ended up firing, moving to the downside. If you look at the after hours on QQQ, you'll see QQQ had the sell-off candle right here at the end of the session, and then end up getting a move all the way back down to the low from right down here. Again, if you look at SPY from that session, that did not happen. SPY again just dropped, popped back up, and then closed flat right there. Barely started to drop a little bit lower, never even came back down here where those lows are at. So they were both in the squeeze. SPY was still in it on the hourly, moving to the downside, never fired. QQQ did fire it going into the end of that session, into the after hours. So looking at QQQ, no new all-time highs like SPY. So you have some lower highs right here on the QQQ. And if you would like, you can hit the low from November here and put the higher lows. And kind of maybe watch this area here. You're going to have previous all-time highs are what, 637 on QQQ. These previous highs right here is like a triple top around 629 area. Um, Big area of support down here near 613.50. Drop it down to a 4 hour. You'll see this area here, big areas of rejection until it gapped above and ripped higher, came back down, knifed underneath, closed under it, big move down, gapped up over top of it. Same thing again, big knife down, close under it, retest, sell off, retest, sell off. Gapped back above it, close above it, retest, held, bounce, went higher, again, came back down, the whole thing again, where just knifes back down. And then put in this higher low. There's your trend line right here. It's actually a little bit better on the 4 hour if you mark the highs from those on QQQ. So kind of watching this right here on QQQ, you do have, again, this big area of support down here. So if it continues to put in these lower highs and does not break above 629, 630, that's what I would say QQQ needs to try to get the move back up to at least retest previous all-time highs and then potentially make new all-time highs. It would have to do the break in base above 629, 630. Continues to reject this area here, putting in the lower highs and not getting the move higher. I would expect the move to come back down here to 613.50. That will be my target downside if at any point in time I do end up going short for a potential swing or whatever it is on QQQ. Higher low will line up most likely around that area at the same time. So great spot for downside and a great area to see if buyers do step in off that support and get the push back up. So looking for, exit puts, potentially enter calls if buyers do step in. Again, the only way that I'm looking for potential longs are either off the 613.50 down there if I see buyers step in, or if chops around this midpoint area around 617.50, 618. But if it gets the break and base right here and then starts to get to move higher, when you get that retest doing the SR flip right there around that 629, 630, that's another potential spot I would like to see. Again, buyers to step in, go long, swing calls, get the move back up, target the previous highs, potentially make new all-time highs within QQQ. So these are the two main two things that I'll be watching on QQQ going into next session and for this week. Stream looking great at 1440p. Let's go. High quality, baby. High quality. IWM, a little bit different story outside of SPY and QQQ. So let me delete this. IWM is in a weekly squeeze right now. That just started to move to the downside. Not really a surprise, just because previous week candles did come back down, retested the weekly nine. Um, I mean, closed relatively flat. The last three sessions on IWM, we talked about it last week. SPY and Q's decent price action overall, except for obviously Friday session. Price action for honestly the rest of the week prior to that, before the holidays. I thought it was absolutely amazing the day trade. I traded a lot more last week than I anticipated to. I took a lot of day trades. Price action was great for it. I liked it. IWM, if you look at the last three daily candles, it did absolutely nothing but stay around that 252 area. Um, so nothing really too significant that I'm seeing on IWM as of right now. I honestly don't really like the chart overall, to say this looks good for, continuation upside or remove potential downside. The only thing that I would be watching is, excuse me, let me go ahead and turn this on real quick. Where's your previous month? Whoopsies. Previous month high, just underneath 250, around that 248.80 area. I mean, if we start getting the move down, you can see a move down right here. You're gonna have your big spot around here, your big resistance. Look at all these upper wicks that it cannot get over top of like this 253 area. I mean, IWM is trying, but it can't get over it here. Just missed it here. I mean, Jesus, look, it done came up here once, twice, three, four times. I mean, this was absolutely ridiculous. Knife straight through it, sold off. Ripped straight through it. We just came back down, hit it again here, almost got it here. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous right now. So I would mark these three areas here, which is going to be 249, 250.8, and 253. You drop it down to a 15 minutes, what it's going to look like. So that's going to be your resistance up above right here that it needs to get through. It's literally just going to be a very simple and small box. Small box. Again, this is going to be your midpoint area. Trade it back and forth. Breaks underneath the midpoint, target the bottom of the box, comes back up, breaks some bases above the midpoint, go back to the top of the box, scalp it off the bounce here if it wants to go back up. I mean, so these are going to be the three spots on IWM going into the next session. Again, nothing nothing crazy, kind of short, sweet, to the point here on IWM. Until it breaks out of this box, it's either going to be underneath 249 or above 253. So you have a $3 box right here. Again, your midpoint right in the middle, just underneath 251. So there is nothing more to really do on IWM until I see underneath 249 or above 253. Till that happens, I will continue to scalp this thing back and forth, day trade the shit out of it until uh, proven otherwise, outside of that range. But few charts I'll cover. Carnival Cruise Line, ticker CCL. So Previous highs back over here from August and September of 2025, retesting now in December 2025, putting in a red shooting star right there at those same highs. So I am short CCL. I did chase this and I do not feel great about it, but I did chase the short on this previous daily candle. I should have been in on Tuesday, but shoulda, coulda, woulda are the three best traders I've ever met. So unfortunately, I was not looking at the chart at that time. It was Tuesday. It was for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. There was not too many things I was looking at for swing trading. I was mainly, again, just day trading the shit out of the market. But going into Friday session for the end of the week, I then noticed what the weekly chart was setting up. So I still like it for the short. So I did take the short on the cruise lines here. So I do like CCL, looking for a move down to essentially $30 psych level. If it breaks underneath $30 psych level, I think you can start to get the move back downside a little bit more closer to about 28.75 area, and then retesting your weekly EMAs around that time. Probably going to end up lining up around that. Right now it's at 28.54. Probably going to see it line up around that 28.75 area. Go ahead and mark this on the chart. About right there. And then obviously your $30 psych level, which is right there. Whoopsies. So looking for a move at least down to right here. Breaks underneath that would be absolutely fantastic. I'd probably be in a runner position by that point, looking for this trend line test of the lower highs. And then breaks underneath that trend line. I mean, we'll take it from there, just speculation. But as of right now, I do like it for the potential short for that weekly shooting star that it has right now. Sent out another tweet prior on Friday that I'm long uh, Zeta for March as of right now for 2026 calls. 22.5s. I am targeting for those to get in the money. Honestly, I'm targeting back up near these highs, just over 22. So, been looking at this chart for a while, been talking about this chart for a while. I think the first time I sent this chart out, Zeta was around 12.50, $13 within the long-term account, and then it got a nice rally all the way up above 20. Big area of consolidation now, and it is in a weekly squeeze. It's been in a weekly squeeze since November. Your MACD has now just about crossed bearish, or sorry, bearish, bullish. So it flipped green right here. I mean, just the littlest bit. Your blue right here is just barely over top of the orange line to flip it. Um, so RSI holding around the 50 neutral area, which I like. It's not selling off and going lower. It kind of held flat while it was building. That it did form a cup and handle right here during that area of consolidation. It is now breaking out of that. It's testing the high from Monday, November 10th right now, which is my only concern. Breaking above that, I think can really get that move easily to $22. 22 is going to be the challenge. So again, I do have 22.5 calls for March 2026. I feel very comfortable sitting inside this swing right now. There's plenty of time for this trade. I can always roll this trade maybe to a later expiration if I need to, if it needs more time to play out, if it gets this breakout right here, but then it just consolidates up in this area. Instead of rejecting it right here, maybe it enters into that area and just consolidate sideways. I don't get the big explosive move through that sooner rather than later. Um, but the trade's still holding valid. Contracts are green, just looking for continuation. But it's taking too long because this is based on a higher time frame chart. Come maybe January going into February, I'm in those March contracts. Might have to roll that position out a little bit farther, but we'll see. But as of right now, you do have this weekly squeeze. MACD did just flip bullish, giant cup and handle. This is the main thing that I'm looking at with this cup and handle. If you guys know me, there are two candlestick patterns that I love to trade all of the time, and they are called the evening star and the morning star. As of right now, for December, Zeta on the monthly chart is going to be closing a morning star reversal, which is a bullish candlestick pattern. Um, and I always say this jokingly, but it is what it is. 9 times out of 10, next candle goes green. So you have 2 days until this monthly candle on Zeta closes. And I'm telling you right now, if it closes above $20, especially 21 or 22, I think that is a very good sign for a potential next month continuation move on Zeta, which is what I'm speculating as of right now for this chart and this trade. So again, 9 times out of 10 would like to see continuation. So when this monthly candle closes, I want to see another green monthly candle come in, potentially end up taking that high. Those 22.5 calls for March would hopefully be in the money by that time, be up huge on them. And then if they are, I think that's fantastic. I'll lock in a lot of gains and then potentially take some profits and look to re-enter into another trade, but more time, maybe looking at the end of 2026, potentially maybe January 2027, and just let the monthly chart then take over and have that trade on the back burner. But as of right now, that is what I'm looking at on Zeta. You do have this monthly morning star candlestick pattern here along with the weekly cup and handle that is breaking out right now. This is one of the top charts that I am watching. Sent a lot of charts out earlier. um, I think Microsoft can be due for maybe a little bit of a move here, so did have these lower highs that it is currently breaking out of and now consolidating completely sideways. You'll see one, two, three, four, five daily candles, all with this flat top area of resistance just underneath that 490 area. While it is holding above the daily moving average of 9 to 21, very, very nice. What I like to see after breaking out of that lower high trend line, it is in a squeeze right now as well. So, not surprised looking at the daily candles because consolidation leads to expansion. Question is, which way are you looking for expansion? Looking at the chart on Microsoft, if you do look at your MACD, it has been bullish the entire time since the first week of December, even on this downside move. Printed that higher low, finally got the break and move above again the trend line and reclaiming your daily moving averages, is now consolidating sideways within the squeeze just underneath 490. So looking for a move higher on Microsoft above 490. I sent out a few other things earlier as well for Microsoft. Let me see if I can get these pulled up. But Microsoft, your highest level of gamma exposure that I'm seeing is around 500 and then 520. So looking at the chart, 500 seems to be, a psych level. Honestly speaking, is going to be just like Tesla. People always talking about 500 psych level, things like that. Microsoft is probably going to get a decent reaction area around 500. My zone above, there is a small little gap to fill up there, closer to 505. So looking for a move to 500. And then 505. If it ends up getting a break in base above that 505 area, I will be looking for the move up higher, closer to 515 and then 520. So just keep an eye on Microsoft right here. Again, it is in this nice daily squeeze right here. Consolidation leads to expansion. And as of right now, looking at the chart, I do like it for a move higher. So keep this one on watch moving forward. I have so many charts on watch. If you're in the premium Discord, you saw all of them. I think I sent 20 charts that I had on watch going into this week. Absolutely insane. I closed this trade for a loss recently, and I'm still looking to get back into this trade. It is just taking a lot longer than I anticipated. Looking at these daily candles right here, obviously just not doing much. Go to your weekly, you'll see. This is Adobe on the weekly chart. Nice little wedge break that it just had out of this, and then just going on 2 weeks of consolidation sideways while building a squeeze this entire time. The squeeze has not flipped bullish. Your MACD has flipped bullish. Your RSI had bullish divergence moving to the upside. While if you look at the chart for this wedge, it actually made a lower low right here from prior up here, right? And the stock price moved lower. If you look at the bottom here on the RSI for the divergence, it was bullish divergence the entire time, even while it was coming lower. It did just hit the 50 neutral line and it did reject it and it's staying underneath of it. So looking for a move above 360, 362 area on Adobe. I think once you see a weekly move that gets another break in base above that 362 area, this squeeze that is currently starting to move to the upside can flip bullish. Your RSI by that point, which has already been saying bullish divergence, will be above the neutral level. Your MACD is already positive and bullish. So you're going to have one, two, three things already lining up after seeing the wedge breakout right here and then doing the SR flip over this resistance. For me, that's about an A plus setup 9 times out of 10. I'm going to take that trade no matter what it is. So it just needs time right now. Daily candles, it is holding the daily 9 after the breakout. It retested on December 15th and 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. It just completely just went sideways underneath the resistance, but holding the daily 9. So I closed the trade not because technical analysis wasn't validated, because I was in January contracts and theta was just burning the premium every single day, every single day, every single day. And I took this trade in the small account challenge and I got tired of sitting into it while I'm trying to manage and do other things. So I decided to take the risk off of that trade, just not let theta keep burning the premium and taking money out of that small account for this trade every single day. And I focus on other setups and names. And still looking again to get back into Adobe here on the weekly chart. So again, I have the alert set right now. I have an alert set at 350 psych level. If there's any kind of sweep that's underneath 350 and I see buyers step in, potentially get a good dip buy, that makes me feel a little bit better, lower the risk and potential higher reward if it starts to move after that sweep. But then the alert set just underneath 362. If it starts to get that move up there, see if it gets continuation, gets a break in base above that one. So keep Adobe on watch. Another one that I am currently in for a little bit of a support bounce here is going to be ABGO. So ABGO, if you go here onto the daily chart, if you just zoom out, look left, every time it comes down into this area here, it gets a nice move up. So, not saying it's going to happen again, but every time that ABGO has came down here into this area, it has bounced and got the move higher. Came back down into this area here, and it got the bounce and move up higher. It just hit this area once again and is now bouncing and starting to get the move higher. So there is a gap fill on the daily chart all the way up here. Do I think it can go all the way up here? I have absolutely no freaking idea if it wants to. I mean, the gap's around 382 to the penny to 394.19. So you're talking, $40 higher on AVGO. Off the lows, AVGO is already up 30. So, but previous price action has shown that every time it enters into this area, buyers do step in. And as of right now, buyers are stepping back in. It did just reclaim the daily 9. I have an alert set at 358, potential trim area for me. If it gets the break-in base above 358, 360, going to look for it to continue up higher. But that is a trim spot for me around that 358, 360. So not only looking at that onto the daily chart for AVGO, if you go to your weekly, this is the first time AVGO has came down to the weekly 21 since the dip and rip since April. It has just been riding the weekly 9 EMA all the way up here. It printed a fat evening star. I just talked about the morning star. This is the evil twin brother. Again, 9 times out of 10, what I say, you want to see continuation. For this one, evening star, red candle. You want to see continuation, red candle. Boom. That's what AVGO got. Nice short to the downside. 9 times out of 10, next candle's red. It got the continuation. Fantastic. It hit the weekly 21. They bought it back up. They closed just above it. It retested it and now got a nice little green hammer candle underneath of that. So, first time hitting, your 21 EMA on the weekly, you can probably bet your ass that you're going to see buyers step back in for a little relief bounce or support bounce there. And that's what you're kind of seeing right down here onto the daily. So looking for a move up higher. If it does start to break again back above that 360, 362 area, or sorry, 358, 360 area, then start getting that move up higher, and you do have that gap fill that is up there. So something to keep on watch right there for AVGO. I do like this one going into next week. I'm not going to talk about CRM. I've been talking about CRM for weeks. It's still the same shit, different day. Um, I mean, there's so many freaking charts I can talk about. I'll quickly cover these few. Hymns, I think Hymns is a short. I think Hymns is short. So Hymns, not the prettiest evening star, but that technically I would almost say is an evening star. The only thing I don't like of it is usually the red candle, similar to AVGO, that red candle on the right side. I want that body to be similar to the big green on this on the left. So I would have wanted that body to close closer down here near 36.35, and it closed at 36.6. So not the prettiest evening star. 9 times out of 10, get continuation. It did, and it broke the weekly trend line. You do have a small daily gap to fill right down here from April, which is going to line up um, around 31 bucks. So I'm targeting 31 to 30 bucks on hymns. Going to the weekly chart right here. Again, it is breaking the weekly trend line. They did wick underneath of it back in November. They reclaimed it, retested the weekly 9. And if you look at the previous price action, you see all of these lows right here in the middle. It lined up perfectly for the back test for the rejection. 40, 41 area. I mean, that it doesn't get any cleaner than that. I mean, that's what you call SR flip support, resistance, supply, demand. Big bounce, knife underneath, go back up, you retest it, you short the shit out of it. And when you see sellers step in, I mean, that's just as clean as it's just clear as day. Very clean chart. And then coming back down, now breaking the trend line, looking for the move back down here. So looking for the move closer down to 31, 30 bucks on hymns. Um, underneath 31, 36, or sorry, 31 30 bucks, 26 to $25 is next target downside. That's actually where my cost basis is on the last few of the shares that I have on Hims. I've traded Hims equity 2 times. I bought it twice. I bought it back here at 25 bucks, and I caught the move for about plus 100, plus 125% when it pulled back down in April, back underneath $25 again after I sold all the equity in February of 2025. When it came back down here again, I mean, again, just previous price action shows right here, this was an area of resistance. They gapped above it here. They ripped it up, they pulled it back, SR flip, and they launched it, right? All I did, it hit it again right there. So I bought equity again. Where'd it go? It ripped straight back up. So I end up catching another 100, 125% equity on HIMS. Again, I sold majority of it, uh, majority of that position, all up there in the 50s and 60s. and I still have a few shares left. So if it ever does come back down to that area, that'll be definitely a big target downside. I will absolutely look to get equity again on HIMS if it comes back down closer to 25 bucks. So again, weekly trend line break after retest rejection of the weekly 9 EMA. Looking weak, I think it looks good for a move back down to 30 to 31 bucks. So keep HIMS on watch for a potential downside move. Keep ARM on watch. I know that one has been getting beat up. Also, your highest game exposure for HIMS is also at 30 as well right now. So it's going to be a big target downside if it gets there. But ARM, I think, is not done. It's at a do or die spot right now. This name has been getting absolutely destroyed, but I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ends up going lower. Um, it has been getting sold off and sold off for days and days and days, but underneath 110 is no bueno. I think you're going to see 100. Underneath that, I think you can see closer to 85 bucks on ARM. So if it continues to have relative weakness, just keep that one on watch. 3M weekly weekly back test right here. So all this area of rejection. Big green candle, gapped above it, came back down, retested it, bounced back up, went back up, equal highs, eventually made a new high, just came back down, hit the weekly 21, also hit a trend line test for a higher low, also lines up with the SR flip spot. I have three reasons to look for a potential bounce play right here on 3M. So I'm currently in 3M calls. If you were on the Wolf live stream on YouTube on Friday. I also streamed it to my YouTube channel and on X as well. I entered into this position on previous session for a swing trade. So they were green going into the end of the day. It had a really nice daily candle, lower wick on here when it tested all of those areas and closed back above it. So feel very comfortable. That's a very lower risk, higher reward trade setup. So long here, risking closing underneath there. I mean, even coming back up to previous week high puts me already at over uh, a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So just targeting the previous week high, yeah, that right there is already risk to reward ratio right there, 4.40. How, how, how do you not take this trade? I like, how do you not take that trade? So going to be looking for a move at least back up to the 170 area. The previous equal highs where it kind of stalled around was 172. The highest it has right here is 174.69. So anywhere between 170 and 175. 165 is going to be a probably a small safety trim area there. Mainly going to be locking in majority of this trade up there at 170 at the previous week high. So for me, again, this is almost another A plus setup. 90% of the time I see this on anything, I'm going to take this trade. This is a very lower risk, higher reward trade setup. So again, that is 3M, ticker MMM. Last but not least, who in the hell talks about this stock right now is eBay. Who gives a shit about eBay, right? Who even uses eBay anymore? What does it matter? So eBay kind of holding this area down here, getting a nice base. Okay. There's a huge gap to fill just from previous earnings. From it hit the gap up here, which is going to be around 88 bucks to about $96. So the gap's about $10 higher. So it is now back above daily EMAs, and it is hitting these previous daily highs. That's right there. So looking for a potential move back above um, like 85.6, $86 area. Go to your daily chart with the squeeze indicator on. Bad boy's been in a squeeze since December 11th. So it's holding bullish on the squeeze. Go look at your MACD this entire time. MACD has been bullish as well. Go look at your RSI. RSI has been putting in bullish divergences. It is back over 50 as well. So I have one, two, three reasons right here to already start looking for bullish signs. It is in this massive squeeze. Again, consolidation leads to expansion. Things are leading me to believe that expansion will be moving to the upside on eBay. It's just my opinion looking at the chart. So I really do like how the daily is looking after building the space down here. There is opportunity for a move up to this potential gap fill. Just because there's a gap fill does not mean it needs to be filled. But nevertheless, looking at the chart, as long as it continues to hold above the daily moving averages while it's building this squeeze, it's looking decent. So another thing that I like is I love evening stars and I love morning stars. All right. This is an evening star. Okay. This is an evening star. Nothing is more bullish than when the bears fail. So you had a huge breakdown. You had a back test of the EMAs, a nice rejection, came straight back down, got a big red candle. So where it formed the evening star and where it held was this area here before it got the dip and rip back up. So if you mark that high here, drag that zone over, right? Where did it bounce and hold at for that evening star? Exactly right there. So for the evening star to have played out for continuation for 9 times out of 10, next candle red, it needed to break this area of support and they get that continuation downside. That did not happen. They did not allow that to happen. What happened instead? They held the support, they ripped it back up to the EMAs, they came back down and retested it. Look at that lower wick right here. Buyers step back in, they sent the price action straight back up, and now it's back up at these weekly EMAs that are sitting on top of each other at $85. So this could be a potential failed moves by the bears, which is potentially setting up an explosive move for the bulls here on the daily chart. So the bears failed, the bulls are going to take control, and they held it, and I believe they're in control right now. Consolidation again leads to expansion, so it is looking very choppy, but overall, I do believe there's opportunity for eBay for the upside. So not a lot of people look at this name. Not a lot of people like looking at Pepsi. Not a lot of people like looking at KO. Not a lot of people like looking at Carnival Cruise Line. But Carnival Cruise Line just went 300% on my call swings after holding that for a week, screaming about it every single day for this almost same identical setup that you're seeing here on eBay was almost the exact same one that I was watching on Carnival. And what happened? 300% on a nice swing trade. So, um, you have the opportunity here on eBay as well. So don't count out this stock. Don't count out this one. I could go on and on, guys. I have so many charts, but I think I'm gonna call it there. We went over SPY, Qs, and IWM. We went over eBay. We went over 3M. We went over Microsoft. We went over CCL. We went over Adobe, AVGO. Um, yeah, what else? What else did we cover? Zeta. Um, I mean, I'm watching Rocket Lab, I'm watching Rocket Companies, RKT, I'm watching Visa still. Um, we went over, I think I said Microsoft, Amazon. I'm watching McDonald's, watching two airlines, AAL and LUV. We went over HIMS for a potential downside weekly trend line break closer to $30. CRM. There's so many things that we talked about. So I can go on and on, but I think I'm going to call it there. So I appreciate the ones who tuned in to the Sunday night live stream. Hopefully, you can take away something from this. But again, please do like and repost the stream right now if you're watching it on X. This will be saved and recorded to my YouTube channel along with my X profile. So the people that could not attend this session right now, they can watch this later on tonight. They could watch it tomorrow morning pre-market before the next session opens up. So they can watch and see the charts that we talked about, the education on it, and get all that done before next session. So please do like and repost it. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Other than that, um, that's going to be it for me. I appreciate everyone who tuned into the live stream. I'm not sure how many people we had tuned in tonight. Let's go take a Gonda. Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look-sees. How many people decided to tune into this thing tonight? Let's see, on a Sunday night. Almost 1,100 people. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. 1,100 people decided to stop by and watch this live stream. So love you all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Liv. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Cat? Cat was recently a short. It does have an evening star on the weekly chart from what I remember looking at it last week. So the daily short played out in an area of support. It's now sitting just directly above it. So keep that on watch if it does continue to show potential weakness up here at these highs on Caterpillar. It does have an evening star. So would like to see again 9 times out of 10 continuation downside. Someone said something about Tesla. Looking at Tesla right now, chart doesn't look too great. I am favoring a little bit more downside on Tesla first. So am looking for potential puts on Tesla going into this next week as well. So that's it for me. Love and appreciate you all. For the ones that are in the premium Discord watching the stream, I will see you guys live over here on the Discord side in the morning for the live streaming and live trading for the whole week. Remember that market is closed on Thursday. We will be losing one trading day this week. So do not forget that. And then again, FOMC minutes on Tuesday. Initial jobless claims data coming out Wednesday morning pre-market at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So don't forget those things. So premium Discord team, I'll see you guys live in the Discord for the live trading session. I will be a guest speaker on the Wolf Financial YouTube channel and X Spaces this week, like normal. So you can catch me over there, just hanging out with the team, the guys, and calling out things that I see on the chart, what I'm looking to get into, and then obviously over on the Discord side, live streaming, live trading over there, sending exactly what I'm getting into for trades over to the team. Not only myself, I do have a handful of other amazing analysts for day trading options, swing trading options, along with futures trading as well. It's where I send absolutely everything that I do over there, even my long-term account for things that I'm invested with shares. I just sold some covered calls on Rivian as well after selling equity up there. So sold some equity, locked in some gains, and then sold covered calls last week as well, and just caught 100% on that as well for extra cash. So sending out everything I do over there. If you want to come hang out and be a part of the Casey Trades premium Discord team with myself and our amazing team, we have almost 10,000 members in there. We just hit what, 92? Right, 92 almost members within the Discord. So almost at 10,000. So if you want to come hang out, you can click the link that's in my bio on X. Should be on the YouTube side as well. If you look in the description, it also should be a link there up on the screen. You can find it everywhere. It takes you to my website, but also my WAP store, and then my Discord links are all there as well. You can get yourself a 7-day free trial. Just come hang out and see if it's the place for you. I do encourage everybody to find a solid and amazing trading Discord or trading community, whatever it is, whatever application it's on, but find a community that you can trade with and that you connect with. I say this all the time, but everyone's heard it before. If you surround yourself with, 9 amazing traders, you will be the 10th. So just find that group of people and traders that you connect with. And if it's my team, I think it's amazing, then come hang out and be a part of my team. If it's not my team and it's someone else's, that's perfectly fine. Just get involved into a trading community that can help you down the road and become a better trader overall and be successful. That's all that really matters. So if you want to check out to see if it is a part or be a part of my team to see if it is the right place for you, again, you can click that link up there. You can get yourself a 7-day free trial. Before you do anything, though, if you do the 7-day free trial, make sure you hit the add code or promo code on the checkout page and put in KC30, KC30. That way, if you do decide to stay and be a part of the Casey Trades Discord team, it will take off 30% whenever it goes to charge for the first month. So that way you get it discounted. So make sure you do put in KC30 if you do get the free trial and decide to stay. Other than that, that's it for me. Love and appreciate you all. Again, I'll be live tomorrow on the Wolf Financial YouTube and X Spaces guest speaker, but I'll be live trading and live streaming over here on the premium Discord side with the team. So hopefully people learned something tonight, got some notes written down, screenshotted some of these charts, whatever it may be. Again, I posted a lot of the charts earlier on my profile. You can go check those out here. Just wanted to give a further explanation and cover a few other things here live on stream for everyone as well. So love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much for the stream. Appreciate you. McDonald's. I think McDonald's is a short. I'll talk about that later on. Love from Oklahoma. Natalie, I appreciate you. Love you all.